Okay, so let's jump right in. Have you ever thought about this? What if you could totally change your life? Not with some huge, dramatic overhaul, but with tiny, almost invisible tweaks to what you do every day? Well, that's the big idea behind Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's all about how these small, consistent changes build on each other and over time lead to some pretty incredible results. This quote, it just reframes everything, doesn't it? Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. I mean, think about it. We totally get compound interest when it comes to money, right? But we kind of forget that our habits work the exact same way. Making one good choice today, it might feel like nothing, but you let that compound day after day, month after month, and the impact is absolutely massive. It's a total game changer. And wow, this chart just lays it all out. The math here is actually kind of mind-blowing. If you get just 1% better each day, by the end of the year, you're not a little better, you're 37 times better. And this isn't just some abstract idea. Look at the British cycling team. For like 100 years, they were, just okay. Then this new guy, Dave Brailsford, comes in with this simple idea. Let's improve everything by just 1%. And I mean everything. They looked at the bike seats, the fabrics they wore, even the pillows they used for sleeping. And the result? Complete and total domination. We're talking Tour de France wins, a mountain of Olympic gold medals, all from tiny, tiny changes. All right, so how do we actually make this happen in our own lives? Well, we're going to walk through a really clear 4-part plan. First, we'll dig into that 1% rule. Then we'll talk about why you should focus on systems, not just goals. After that, we'll get super practical with the 4 laws of change, and we'll wrap up with what might be the most important piece of the puzzle, your identity. Okay, first up, the 1% better rule. This is really the foundation of the whole thing. It's so important to get this. Greatness doesn't come from one single big bang moment. Nope, it's built, it's forged through this relentless focus on tiny, continuous improvements. These are the atomic habits that stack up day in and day out. But here's the thing, and we've all been there, right? You start putting in the work, and you see nothing. It's so frustrating. James Clear has a name for this, the Valley of Disappointment. He uses this great analogy of an ice cube. Imagine you're in a cold room, and the ice cube is at 26 degrees. You start warming the room, 27, 28, 30, 31 degrees. And what's happening to the ice cube? Nothing. It feels like all your effort is for nothing, but it's not. You're building up this hidden potential. Then you hit 32 degrees, and bam, the breakthrough happens. It all starts to change. And this idea, this quote about the stonecutter, it just hits so hard. When nothing seems to help. You know the feeling. He hammers at this rock 100 times, and not even a crack shows. But then on that 101st try, it splits in 2. The lesson here is so, so important. You have to trust the process. It wasn't that last hit that did it. It was all the hits that came before it. Your work is never, ever wasted. It's just being stored up, building and building until, boom, the breakthrough. All right, get ready, because this next concept is a massive mental shift. For real, it changes how you look at everything. It's all about forgetting your goals. Yeah, you heard me, forgetting your goals and instead focusing completely on your systems, the daily routines that actually get you where you want to go. So what's so wrong with goals? I mean, we're all taught to set them, right? Well, think about this. Winners and losers, they often have the exact same goals. Every single athlete at the Olympics wants to win gold. So the goal itself can't be the deciding factor. And here's another thing. Hitting a goal is just a moment. It's temporary. You can have a goal to clean your messy room and you do it. Great. But what happens in a week if you don't change the system that made it messy in the first place? You guessed it, the mess comes right back. It's the systems that give you real, lasting results. And this line from the book just perfectly sums it all up. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Man, that's powerful. It's a huge reminder that the process is what really matters, way more than the outcome. Because when your motivation disappears, and trust me, it will, a strong system is what keeps you going. A weak system? It'll drag down even the biggest, most inspiring goals you have. Okay, so if systems are the answer, the big question is, how do we actually build good ones? Well, that's where we get to the real, practical, how-to part of the book, the 4 laws of change. This is basically your blueprint. It's a simple, super powerful framework you can use to build the habits you want and, just as important, break the ones you don't. So here they are. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. Each of these laws lines up perfectly with the 4 stages of any habit. There's a cue, then a craving, then your response, and finally a reward. The secret to building a good habit is just to take these 4 steps and make them work for you, not against you. Let's break down exactly how to do that. First law, make it obvious. Simple, right? This is all about becoming the architect of your own space. I mean, think about it. Are you more likely to practice guitar if it's right there sitting in the middle of your living room, or if it's stuffed in a case in the back of your closet? Exactly. You want to make the cues for your good habits totally visible, just impossible to ignore. Okay, law number 2, make it attractive. And there's this really cool trick for this called temptation bundling. It's where you pair something you want to do with something you need to do. So, for example, say you love listening to a certain podcast. The rule becomes you only get to listen to that podcast while you're working out. All of a sudden, going to the gym doesn't seem so bad, does it? It makes the habit way more appealing. 2 minutes. That's the key to law number 3. Make it easy. It's called the 2-minute rule, and it is a game changer. The idea is any new habit you start has to take less than 2 minutes. So read before bed isn't your habit. Your habit is read 1 page. Do yoga becomes roll out my yoga mat. You see, the goal is to master the art of just showing up. You can worry about making it bigger and better later. And last but definitely not least, law 4, make it satisfying. Now, this one's tricky because the reward for most good habits, like saving money or eating healthy, is way off in the future. But our brains, they want a reward right now. So to make a habit stick, you have to find a way to give yourself that immediate win. A perfect example is a habit tracker. That simple, satisfying feeling of drawing a big X on the calendar, that's the little dopamine hit that tells your brain, hey, that was good. Let's do that again tomorrow. Okay, we've covered the practical stuff. But now we're getting to the final and honestly the deepest part of this whole idea. This goes way beyond just changing what you do. We're talking about real, lasting transformation, and that comes from shifting your identity. The book uses this great analogy of an onion to explain this. Think about it. On the outside layer, you have your outcomes. This is what you get, like losing weight. Then the next layer in is your process, what you do, like your workout routine. But at the very center, the core of the onion, that's your identity. That's who you believe you are. And real, deep change always starts from the inside and works its way out. And this leads to such a powerful realization. Every single thing you do is like casting a vote for the kind of person you want to be. Seriously, when you write just 1 page, you're casting a vote for, I'm a writer. When you do a 10-minute workout, you're casting a vote for, I'm an athlete. You're not just doing things anymore. You're literally building and reinforcing a new identity, one small action at a time. And this example just makes it so crystal clear. Picture 2 people who are trying to quit smoking. Someone offers them a cigarette. The first person says, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. You hear that? They still identify it as a smoker who is trying to change. But the second person, they say, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. It's a small change in words, but it signals a massive shift in identity. And that is so much more powerful. All right, let's wrap this up. What are the big takeaways? First, just focus on getting 1% better every day. Second, forget goals, build systems. Third, use those 4 laws. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. And the big one, focus on changing your identity because every action is a vote for who you want to become. And through it all, you got to trust the process, especially when you feel like you're stuck in that valley of disappointment. So, I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. What's one tiny 2-minute habit you can start today? I mean, right now, not tomorrow, that casts a vote for the person you truly want to become.